Welcome back to the second hour of LoveBabz, LoveTalk. Since we got off to such a janky start, the early part of the morning, because I had a power outage in part of my space, and so it has been resolved. But it takes a minute to get things back. We are so gadget dependent, and everything has to be rebooted and all that other kind of stuff. So, anyway, happy Friday. That's the point that I want to make. Happy Friday. I just got my second cup of tea. I'm telling you, this is a habit now. 2 cups of tea in the morning. I feel fine. I do like coffee, so I think I'll just move my coffee drinking to after the tea drinking. And since today, I've got a lot of studying to do today. Like I've got to prepare for the tomorrow, the Yale Access to Law School program we set for the LSAT tomorrow, a practice test, practice LSAT. We sat for one a couple of weeks in, and now we're sitting in a couple of weeks after we've had some time under our belt to study and learn a few things. Baby, I am so not ready. But ready or not, I don't know what ready is. So, I guess, listen, I'm gonna sit and take it. That's it. That's all. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. And then as soon as I finish with that, then I could put my attentions on some other things immediately after that. Because I have a lot to do, and I need to get to it. And so as soon as I finish the LSAT, I move right into the second thing that I'm working on. And it'll be fine. It's not going to take all day. It's not going to take all day. So I'm gonna do the parts that I need to do, and then that'll be it. And then that'll be my weekend, right? Like, and I have copious amount of reading to do. Lots. Oh dear, it's a cough. Thank God for tea. Thank God for tea. So I don't know what the news of the day is. I don't know what's happening in the world. I don't know who is doing what. I'm gonna go look at CNN. Oh, and what do I see? A barrage of Russian missile attacks across Ukraine. I just wish there was some way that somebody could just stop that fool, leave these people alone. The World Cup people are not going to allow Zelensky request to share a message of peace at the World Cup final. But FIFA, they're janky anyway. So they got people. I guess there's a movement to wrench away the World Cup from them. Oh, 'tis the season for coups and takeovers. Be it sports or countries, this is the spirit of that. So, whatever. There was an assassination attempt in Central African Republic. Missile strikes pound Ukraine, knocking out power, putting the country under air raid alarm. Oh God, this is just too much. Missing college student Kenny DeLand Jr. is alive, his father says. Okay, well, where is he? Where's the boy? Uh, let's see. I've been watching Pelosi's daughter, I think, is her name Alexandra? Talk about the documentary that she made of her mother. She's a documentary filmmaker. Uh, NBA draft pick retires from basketball, citing anxiety, calls it the darkest times of his life. Well, I'm glad that people are taking steps to do what's in their best interest. Just make sure you got enough money to take care of yourself. Uh, oh gosh, there is a report out there. I wish Harry was here so we could talk about this because this freaks me out. A new report names the top 5 conditions misdiagnosed in U.S. emergency rooms each year. Oh my God. Yikes. Okay. Uh, that's problematic. Elon Musk censors the press. What? Who didn't think he was going to do that? Uh, let's see. So I'm on the CNN news site, just catching up with some latest what's happening news. Because news straddles news and entertainment, so easily, and we've been so primed for entertainment as being news. uh I'm just saying. Let's see. She's got to try to kill. Katie Holmes, uh, James Cameron. About I don't know if anybody has seen what is it? Return to Fern Gully, as my sister likes to call it. Uh, the little film that's out now, Avatar or Avatar Forever, or Avatar Returns or whatever it is. My sister calls it Fern Gully because it's just like Fern Gully. Just cracks me up. This is a little too weird. A 2-year-old rescued after being swallowed by a hippo. I don't know what to do with that kind of information. I don't know what to do with that. I really don't. Do I even want to talk about Trump's major announcement? And he's all like NFT upped. He's done up like a superhero thing. Okay. Okay, Donald. Whatever, boy. You funny. The bicycle's built for 2, 40-foot sea, no food, no water. The boater recalls 10 days lost in the Atlantic. I don't understand these people who sort of feel the need to like go to the ends of reason, push themselves. I don't know. So I guess people are feeling like there is a recession, and so they're acting accordingly. Starbucks union start 3-day strike at 100 stores. It's called Avatar: the Way of Water. So it's pretty it's going to be pretty popular in China. That's the film they will show. I think they'll show that. I think that's I think they'll show that. And then I've not watched the Meghan Harry thing. I'm not really terribly interested in them. I mean, I like them. I think they're amazing. They're cute. I think she's pregnant again. Blessings. But beyond that, I don't care about their story that much. Or the story of what's going on. I don't know anybody who doesn't understand that. Of course, those people are racist. They're the architects of white supremacy. I mean, that family is the architect of white supremacy across the world. The monarch. I'm like second only to The Vatican. Come on. Like everybody's like, oh, she said they were racist. And everybody's like, oh. I'm like, are y'all kidding me? Do you know anything about the Windsors and before the Windsors? All I mean, this talk about a crime family. These people have raided continents for centuries, not years, centuries. Man, if they had to give up all the loot that they have raided over the centuries from Africa, from other places in the world, let me tell you something. Other European countries. So people are like, oh, wow, she called them racist. You think? They're the architects of white supremacy. They are the original white supremacists. Oh my God. I don't, I just think, I think people mix them up with fairy tales of fables, but they don't know the history of that family and how they came to be and their descendants and who they're descendant of. I mean, that you got to take some time and take the deep dive. You can't, what you see now in pop culture is just a way to market them so they could keep gouging their citizens. I mean, what do you need a monarchy for? I mean, they don't do anything. But I mean, I'm not in those countries that look to the queen and or that house or the king for guidance on anything. So I don't want to get into the understanding of why they need a monarchy. I'm not going to do that. I'm just saying there's a whole history to this thing. You know. I tell you. It's just too much. It's just so much fed to people without thought. But I listen, here's a piece of news that I think you'll find of interest. At least I do. Harvard University appoints Claudine Gay as school's first Black president. Let me say that again. Harvard University appoints Claudine Gay, and Claudine is a Black ass name, Claudine Gay as school's first Black president. You know who's not gonna be outdone by that, right? A little school in New Haven, they're not gonna be outdone. Claudine Gay will serve as Harvard's 30th president. Gay is the first person of color and the second woman to hold the role of Harvard University's president. I wonder what she'll be able to get done. I wonder what she wants to get done. I wonder. Born to Haitian immigrants, she received her PhD in government from Harvard in 1998. She is also the recipient of the Topin Prize for Best Dissertation in Political Science, according to the Harvard Gazette. Since 2018, Gay served as the Dean of Faculty of Arts and Sciences. She also a leading scholar of political behavior, considering issues of race and politics in America, and is the founding chair of the Inequality in America Initiative, a multidisciplinary effort launched in 2017. Gay is preceded by current Harvard president Lawrence Bacow, who announced in June that he would be stepping down from the university's top job after 5 years in office. Only 5 years? I am humbled by the confidence that the governing boards have placed in me and by the prospect of succeeding President Bacow in leading this remarkable institution, Gay said in the Harvard Gazette. It has been a privilege to work with Larry over the last 5 years. He has shown me that leadership isn't about one person. It's about all of us moving forward together. And that's the lesson I take with me into this next journey. So Gay will take office in July 2023. She was she was elected to the presidency by the Harvard Corporation, the university's principal governing board. The election concluded an intensive search launched after Bakal's announcement in June. Claudine is a person of bedrock integrity, Bakal said in the Harvard Gazette. She will provide Harvard with the strong moral compass necessary to lead this great university. The search committee has made an inspired choice for our 30th president. Under Claudine Gay's leadership, Harvard's future is very bright. Wow. 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 All right, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Well, I'm going to pay attention to this sister, see what else she gets into. Moral compass. I've not heard that used anywhere in a very long time. Ha ha ha. Okay, Yale. It's time for you to step this up. I know who I want to be Yale's next president. Me and Michael Moran, we go back and forth on this all the time. We've been secretly, quietly plotting and scheming. we have no power in any of that. It's just us though whispering in spaces. But that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I'm feeling like, I'm just interested in that. So congratulations, President Gay. She takes over. She steps into the role in 2023, June, July, something like that. So I hope they don't be hanging no nooses around the campus. That other foolishness that white folks will do. I know people are still in shock and awe over Twitch bosses passing. And it's hard for people to wrap their brains around this loss of life. That's why it has captured our imaginations, because he seemed to have it all, or what we think all should be, and the fact that he was singing and dancing all the time just made people feel like, oh, well, he's all right. And of course, we are encouraging people who have suicide ideations to, you could call or text 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. I never want to tell people not to do that. I'm just saying that sometimes we think that that's all that we get to do, that we could just tell people, well, if you just call this number. But I think there's some things that we can do as human beings toward each other to sort of lessen this kind of, to lessen these kinds of tragedies. And it is a tragedy because he leaves behind wife and 3 children. And now she's got to make her way in the world with these 3 children. And, I think once we get past feeling bereft and sad, that we move to a place of anger. And not anger like we're going to burn stuff down, but anger to the point like, come on, if you're struggling, get the help you need. Come on. You have a responsibility to other people too, even though this is your very personal pain. But you've got to hold on and just constantly seek help. And those of us who are in these relationships with people, we have to deeply encourage them. Not beat them up. We can't do that. But we could say, listen, you take this walk, I take it with you. If you need support, I got you. I'm gonna be supportive. But I need you to articulate what is happening. And I think we have to sort of start normalizing interactions. We have to start seeing it in films and movies and TV where, people are considering this, and then some interventions happen. Even magical ones. Like we have to sort of show how you show up for people, not just the shock and awe after the fact. Like we have to make this a public safety issue. You know, it doesn't matter to me if it's a 10-year-old child that wants to take their own life because they're being bullied, or a 40-year-old man who has been struggling quietly in his own head, you know. For me, it's simple. We don't make it possible for people to say, I'm not well. We don't make it possible. You know why we don't make it possible? Because the pushback is, well, I see you singing and dancing. Oh, you have everything that anybody could want. We do that before we get to the heart, before we cancel out, before we just remove all those attachments. We don't really see people. Do you know what I mean? Like we don't see each other. We do not see each other. We see the attachments and the trappings of things. That's what we see. And so that does not, so when people see the trappings and the whatever somebody says success is and they have it, we missing the person. We just see the illusion of the person, you know. And I'm sure his wife will at some point say, yes, I knew he was struggling with things, but I didn't think it was that bad. That's going to be the next conversation. You know, or I knew that he had moments of fear and as we all do. It's not unique to him. We all have these moments of fear, trepidation, uncertainty, unworthiness. We have those. Some people succumb to them and some people rise above them. And you have to figure out what is the rise above part for everybody. Like, what is that moment where you can rise above, up out of whatever this is? That's the thing. You have to find out what that is for people. And as long as we stay stuck on, well, he seemed so happy, or he was dancing just an hour ago, you know, then we're not seeing and we're not taking deep dives into each other. We are human beings. That means we have the capacity to dig deep and to extend ourselves into each other's circles, even when we don't want to. What is the fear? That you won't be able to help? I don't know. I know it's very difficult for people to love. I know it's very difficult to people to look at people in the eyes and stare at them and look at them and be in awe of them. I know we have a hard time with that. I know we have a hard time conveying emotions. If we didn't, romance novels and rom-coms wouldn't be successful, because that says we desire something that is not happening in our own everyday practical lives. Everybody wants romance. I think Sheila E. said it best. Everybody wants a love bazaar. But everybody doesn't know how to get there. You know, we put so many barriers. The Course in Miracles says, you're not to seek for love. You're only to seek to remove the barriers to love. That's it. Seek the barriers. Seek to remove the barriers. You know, so I know people's hearts are broken. It's not going to be the last time, because I think we have to look at this from a public health measure. What can we do? What are we not doing? What are we missing in our everyday practical lives and our interactions with people that we're not seeing? And I feel this because, you know, when Rebecca Grossman ended her life by suicide, she was my campaign manager. I saw her every day. And she was a partial nanny to Margot, like, because she was a professional nanny on occasion. I mean, she was very helpful and influential in helping me, you know, get my bearings around motherhood. And when she died, you know, it just dropped me to the ground. And you know, Kevin Walton called me to tell me, and I refused to believe it. I just refused to believe it. I refused. I flat out pretty much called him a liar. And then I reached out to my good friend Jay and her sister, and she didn't call me back right away. And I knew in that moment, I was like, okay. Because Jane is, when I call, she picks up the phone. And when she called me back and she told me, I just lost it. And she's like, I knew I was dreading telling you. I was dreading this conversation. I didn't want to do it because I knew this would hurt you. And it did. I mean, it did. It did. And that's not the first suicide of people I know. I know quite a few people. So I feel some kind of way about this. And I know everybody's having these collected conversations across the country about, and I don't think people know what to say. So it's just call 988 or just get help. And yes, we should be encouraging people to do that. But I think there's something deeper here that needs to be done. There's something deeper here that needs to be done. And we have a part in this. All of us have a part in it. I just refuse to believe that there's nothing that can be done about this. I don't want anybody to be sitting around thinking, I don't have anything to live for. Because I know what it is. I sat in that space. I know what it is to sit in that space. I know what it is to can't see beyond that moment. To be so beat down and swallowed up by the blackness of a pain that the only recourse you have is in your own light. I know what that's like. And for the life of me, when I think about that, I was like, oh my God, I can't even believe I was that person. I can't even believe that I was on that road. I can't believe I was sitting at that crossroads. As I sit here now, so far removed from that. So far. But I can't remember how heavy it was and how overarching the pain was. Yeah. So I think in these moments, while the country is lamenting, discerning, contemplating what to do next in terms of this. I mean, some people just like, whatever. But there's a lot of people I think are taking a deep dive on this and giving this some real thought on how we get free, move forward, and be better humans to each other. Because for me, that's at the heart of this, is how do we be good humans to each other? And I'm not saying that I don't mean like people were mean to him or people were mean to people. That's not what I mean. I mean, how do we extend ourselves a little bit further? How do we widen the light that we give? How do we do that? How do we do that? And not burn ourselves out, but how do we extend more light to each other? I think that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And I'm thinking about this. And I'm thinking about it from a very religious place. I'm thinking about it from a very cosmos place. I'm thinking about it from a very, I'm thinking about it from a public health space. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it from music and theater and art. I'm thinking about it. All the lenses that I get to see through, I'm looking at it. That's what we need. We need to look at this from all the lenses that each of us own and curate, And by lenses, I mean the tables and places that we sit in with influence. That's what I mean. Lenses means the tables that you're at, and how can you direct that? How can you use that influence to make a difference in that? I'm gonna think about this. I'm gonna think about this in the spaces that I sit in, that we have to create space for a bigger light for each of us. I mean, we just have to, we just have to. Otherwise, there is no future. And people could say Afrofuturism, but if we are if we are killing ourselves, ain't gonna be nobody standing in the Afro future. You know, thank you. It's not gonna be enough of us left to pick up the pieces and to carry on. And listen, Black folks is always gonna survive. I don't want us to just survive. I want us to thrive and be the light. So that's where I'm at. I'm thinking about all the spaces where I can make a difference in extending more light into the lives of people around me and into this community. Because I cannot believe that we sit and just woe is me. But I feel this way about wars. You know, I feel this way about wars and conflict. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I think this just hurt more because we watched him and he just was jovial and happy and had all the things, had all the trappings that we say success is. You know, he had a loving wife and beautiful children. He had all the things that we say make people successful. And yet here we are. So, well, I guess that's how I'm going to leave this Friday. I'm going to leave this Friday with people thinking about their own light and how it could be brighter for yourselves and for other people. Like, what do we do? What kind of acts of kindness can we extend to each other to push back on violence and hatred and racism? And how do we push back? You know, I'm imagining Afrofuturism in a whole different kind of way. I don't solely want to be just Black and beautiful into the future. I want to be Black, beautiful, thriving, happy, healthy, whole, loving, kind, generous. That's what I want. You know, I don't want just a pretty picture. I want the beautiful existence. I want the beautiful existence. And the future is now, right? So we have to get into this. So for 2023, we're gonna unpack some of this stuff and find me somebody to talk about this on a regular basis, and find some people to talk about this, you know, and take a deep dive and have real talk, because I think we have to usher in the season of real talk for ourselves, for our communities, for our families, for our organizations, all the things. Not just blame. Like, I don't want to be, not point fingers, not any of that foolishness. No, I'm talking about heart talk, where I can embrace you and say, listen, we got some trouble in our community. How can we fix this? And don't inventory me the list of all the things that's wrong. Listen, we know. I need an inventory of what can we do. I want an inventory of what we can do. Don't tell me this, that, and the other thing. Don't tell me blah, 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 blah. Don't tell me, well, if this was that, this, and if we had a better that and other thing. Nope. What can we do in this moment? What skills, talent, and resources do we have right now, in this moment? And how do we leverage and pull them together to address this right now? And I know there's responsibility for a whole bunch of folks all around the table. And there are people who will hold that task of calling people to task. But for now, I want y'all to have a good weekend. Pray for me as I take my practice LSAT tomorrow morning, and get some shopping done. And if you're around on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, come caroling with us in New Harville. That's where you start. Have a holly jolly Christmas. Thanks, Nora, for riding this week. Thanks, Paul Bass, for word on the street this week. And maybe Harry will be back on Monday, maybe not. But wherever you are, Harry, we holding you in our prayers. I'll see y'all. Have a good weekend. Thanks, Nora.